You're listening to Civic Media. Stay up to date on the latest news and information for your local community and Wisconsin by signing up for our free email newsletter. Visit civicmedia.us/email to get started.
Civic Media News. I'm Terry Bell. Here's what Wisconsin needs to know. President Biden returns to Wisconsin today. He's talking about his administration's progress in replacing lead pipes in Milwaukee and creating good-paying jobs. It's Biden's second visit to Wisconsin since dropping out of the presidential race. He was here in September to talk about new investments in rural electrification and other infrastructure. Wisconsin school superintendent has a challenger in the next election. Jeff Wright is the superintendent of the Sauk Prairie School District. Wright is the first person to step up to challenge Jill Underly. She's been in office since 2021. Wright is a Democrat who ran for state assembly in 2018 but lost by about 300 votes. The election is April 1st. Battleground Wisconsin is seeing a lot of campaign stops this year, but the nation's agriculture secretary says winning rural Wisconsin will take more effort than that.
It isn't enough for you to stop by in those rural areas. You got to have an office. You got to have volunteers. You got to have people talking about the campaign on a constant basis.
Tom Vilsack joined Civic Media's Todd Aubaugh show this week. Wisconsin voters can expect to hear more about the future of the U.S. Supreme Court as a presidential campaign issue. 4 of the 9 justices will soon turn 70.
We are trying to make it clear to voters that when you're voting this year, you're not just voting for a president, you're not just voting for Congress, you're also voting for generations of decisions that will impact you, your family, your children, your grandchildren's fundamental rights.
Joe Hines is with the progressive group Stand Up America. 24 people in Wisconsin have landed in the hospital after eating eggs that are now being recalled. The eggs came from a farm in Bondwell. The eggs were sold under the brand names of Milo's Poultry Farms, M&E Family Farms, and Tony's Fresh Market. Duck eggs from Happy Quackers Farm are also part of the recall. Wisconsin is getting $115 million to hook up public libraries and community centers to the internet. 35 communities will benefit from the federal funding. The money is meant to serve disadvantaged populations impacted by the pandemic and who have little to no broadband access. I'm Terry Bell, Civic Media News. Now, here's what you need to know closer to home.
For WRCE News, I'm Joanne Krulotz. Gas prices fell 8.3 cents per gallon over the last week. The average cost across the state Monday was $2.99. This is almost 8 cents lower than a month ago and 32 cents lower than this time last year. The price in Richland County averaged $3.06. Patrick DeHaan with Gas Buddy warns that with an active hurricane season and unrest in the Middle East, gas prices could increase again. Sauk Prairie School District Superintendent Jeff Wright has announced he's running for State Superintendent of Public Instruction. Wright is the first person to challenge Underly, who's been in office since 2021 and announced her re-election campaign in September. Wright is a Democrat who ran for state assembly in the 51st District in 2018, but lost to Republican Todd Novak. The search for a new Madison School superintendent cost over $100,000. New superintendent Joe Gothard was hired this year following a nationwide search. Boscobel Mobile Pack home team will be hosting a harvest dinner and auction this Saturday at the Boscobel Bowl and Banquet. There will be plenty of fundraising activities and a delicious meal will be served as well. Bruce Pitsley of Boscobel Mobile Pack home team is an organizer of the event.
We will be having a live auction, a silent auction, a raffle, and we're also having a meal. And the meal will be smoked pulled pork sandwiches, cheesy potatoes, coleslaw, beans, and we're having dessert also. And we are asking $10 donation at the door, and we're just hoping to have a really nice turnout to help support the Boscobel Mobile Pack.
The Boscobel Mobile Pack host team for Feed My Starving Children fundraising event will be held starting at 5 with an auction preview. You can enjoy a dinner at 6 and the auction will begin at 7. The silent auction closes before the live auction begins. Donations can be dropped off Thursday and Friday between 4 and 8 at Boscobel Bowl and Banquet. The Office for Business and Entrepreneurship, Greene County Development Corporation, Prosperity Southwest, and Blackhawk Technical College will host a small business clinic free to all participants Friday at Blackhawk Technical College's Monroe campus. This free event begins at 9 and is a choose-your-own adventure for entrepreneurs. Come for the day or for a specific session. Participants can schedule 30-minute individual sessions with consultants to discuss starting a business, financials, marketing, taxes, revolving loan funds, international trade, or legal matters. The confidential, free one-on-one appointments can be scheduled between 9 and 4. Local Southwest Wisconsin SBDC business consultant and state small business credit initiative specialist Nora Ruffin-Schmidt will be available for free and confidential small business consulting. Register for the clinic by calling 608-716-9441. A tree that's traveled further than nearly any human in history has been planted in Dunn County. The Dunn County Historical Society was chosen by NASA to participate in their Moon Tree program, which saw the seedling for the tree travel around the moon and back before being given to the Historical Society. Officials from Dunn County Historical Society say they were chosen because they'll be able to keep the tree alive and use it as an educational tool. The seedling they received was on NASA's Artemis 1 space launch. The winners of the Richland FFA Alumni Raffle have been announced. The grand prize winner of a 1940-era Alice Chalmers WC is Kirk Lair. The second prize, a $500 gift certificate to the Richland Locker, is Brian Dagg. And third prize of $250 cash goes to Harold Geis. The Richland FFA alumni wish to thank everyone who participated. And that's what you need to know. I'm Joanne Krulotz.
The Badgers get ready for Rutgers. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. College football, the Wisconsin Badgers travel to New Jersey this weekend to take on the 4-1 Rutgers Scarlet Knights. Badgers head coach Luke Fickell says quarterback Braden Locke did a good job of bouncing back in their win over Purdue after throwing 2 interceptions early in the game.
Sometimes you take it for, well, he's a slinger and he doesn't care. No, it's just he processes things. He's able to come back. He's able to have confidence in what he's doing.
NFL Packers head coach Matt LaFleur says he expects Romeo Doubs to be back at work tomorrow. Doubs suspended over the weekend after not reporting to practice last week.
The one thing I'll say about it is, it's a pretty isolated incident. Like, this has not happened with him before, and I don't expect it to happen moving forward.
NBA, the Bucks host the Lakers Thursday night in a preseason game. Damian Lillard says he's in great shape thanks to his personal trainers.
Nutritionist and chef and speed and agility, strength and conditioning, my basketball trainer, my PT, all of that stuff. We just got connected, and then we put a plan together all the way through the offseason, and we executed it.
That's the Bucks' Damian Lillard. With sports, I'm Mike Clemens.
On your entertainment beat, I'm Pete Schwaba. Attention Bear fans. No, not those kind. The Bear will be back for a season 4, and actress Sarah Paulson, who plays Cousin Michelle on the show, indicated she will be back as well. The actress indicated as much while discussing her new horror film, Hold Your Breath, with the New York Post. Hold Your Breath dropped last Thursday on Hulu to pretty mediocre reviews. The film also stars fellow The Bear cast member and 2-time Emmy winner Ebon Moss-Bachrach. Season 4 of The Bear could return as early as 2025. In How Clueless Can You Possibly Be news, a man approached Sean Combs' ex, Young Miami, and asked her to sign a bottle of baby oil. The rapper was sitting in an SUV when the fan approached and asked her through an open window to sign his toiletry. The FBI uncovered thousands of bottles of baby oil from Combs' homes in Miami and Los Angeles earlier this year. The only thing that could make this story even weirder is if it was totally random and the guy had no knowledge of Sean Combs' scandal. Beyoncé's album Cowboy Carter was snubbed when it came to the Country Music Awards, even though it hit the top of the charts. Country singer Luke Bryan addressed the controversy on the Andy Cohen Live podcast, saying he understood why her fans were upset, but also gave Beyoncé some advice, saying, if you're going to make country albums, come into our world and be country with us. Just a word to the wise for Beyoncé, renting a U-Haul might be sort of tough if you're moving to Nashville. People that have near-death experiences often say they see a light. During COVID, Al Pacino says he was close to death and even had no pulse at one point, and paramedics had to bring him back to life. Pacino also offered that when he was supposedly no longer alive and transitioning, that there was nothing and he did not see a light. Or maybe God saw Righteous Kill. The Joker 2, Folie à Deux, took number 1 at the box office this past weekend. The film brought in $40 million to lead the way, but given that both audiences and critics showed approval ratings in the low 30s, according to Rotten Tomatoes, it would be a surprise if the Joker sequel starring Joaquin Phoenix and Lady Gaga showed any type of legs at the box office. Coming in second place was last week's champ, The Wild Robot, which added a few screens and took in almost $19 million domestically. The Wild Robot, in contrast to the Joker, is rocking a 98% score on Rotten Tomatoes with both critics and audiences. My guess is the 2% in each case are moviegoers who enjoyed The Joker. Coming in third place was Beetlejuice with just over $10 million at the box office in its fifth week of release. The Beetlejuice sequel has taken in $265 million domestically. Rounding out this week's top 5 are Transformers 1 and Speak No Evil. For more showbiz fun, tune in to Nightlight with me, Pete Schwaba, weeknights from 6 to 8 p.m. on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Mostly sunny today. Our high right around 69 this afternoon. The wind will be out of the northwest at 5 to 15. Tonight, clear and calm, our low 41. Tomorrow, sunshine 71 on Thursday. Mostly sunny with a high near 74. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable. Right now, it's 39.
The national news cycle never stops, but it can be hard to find news about your local community. Civic Media is dedicated to providing quality local and state news coverage across Wisconsin. With the Civic Media app, you can get notifications about local stories that matter to you and your community. Find the free Civic Media app in your phone's app store and choose notifications from the menu to tell us what kind of news you want to hear about.